all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and you've arrived at day 95 of the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2020. Thank you all so much for being with me today. Our tangle is going to be GINGO. It is by Lisa Chang, CZT, and it is a pretty one. I needed something that was simple but still cool for today, and I'm going to be working on a Zentangle Renaissance style. It is a toned tan tile. I've been trying to say tan tile all project. So here we go. This is one of the few that I have left on these. So I'm going to be emulating something I saw in Lisa's step out art on Untitled Patterns. It was so beautiful that I was just drawn to it immediately and wanted to do it. But before we get that far, let's do the step out and see how we do. This is quite simple, and we've done several tangles that have a similar concept to them. And on this, we're going to draw a wavy line. Been drawing a lot of wavy lines too. And then somewhere in the center, or wherever you would think that it would make a good place to be the middle of this, I want you to put a line and a dot and a line, and the line can curve, stay straight, whatever you want. Okay, I'm going to join the sides up to this spot. It's going to be our center spot. Okay, see there, the hardest part is done. Now we're just going to fill this with radiating lines, and I'm going to put some curve in mine because I feel like this lump here, it has a curve. This is completely intuitive. It's something that you sort of have to decide for yourself. And then I'm going to take my time and make some careful lines out from the center, trying to keep the width consistent with the one before. That's always a challenge for me. At the end of this video, there are going to be some program notes, so you might want to skip to the end or watch the whole thing this time. I know that's asking a lot, but I am hoping this will be a bit shorter than the ones we've had thus far. I am really struggling with exhaustion right now. The heat and the schedule that I'm keeping is really tough right now, and so I am needing one that I can sort of just relax into and have fun with today, and so I think this is going to be a good one. I wonder if I turn this over and change my stroke a little bit, this will work better. There we go. That seems to be more comfortable. The point of this is to bring your lines all in towards that center point. Yeah. And so you may have some lines to clean up in this area, and you can do that however you want. You can emphasize the depth there where these lines converge. And of course, that's where your shading point is going to be, is here at the bottom, where these lines come together. Will be a natural point to bring some color. But you could also sort of puff this out, pillow it, whatever you want to call it, by shading around the very edges. And when you do them all, you get sort of a puffed up, pillowy look. Which is fun, and you can choose to do it that way or not. That is entirely up to you. I am shaking really badly today, so please be patient with me. I can't seem to control anything. I am dropping things, and I don't know if it's just exhaustion with the heat or what. It's close to 100 today, and yeah, 100 degrees. What is that in Celsius? 37.7 degrees Celsius. It's stinking hot. It's almost 40 degrees. That's craziness. Okay, now I'm just playing around with this. Just have fun with it. This is not part of the pattern. I'm amusing myself. You can do whatever you want to finish it off, okay? So this is GINGO. Let's do our tile. Again, I am looking for something that is going to be fun and yet not too work intensive, because I am still worn out from the last few times. So let's draw some of these in on this. And what I'm going to do is emulate the idea that she had in some of her step out art, which was to use multiple colors on a Renaissance tile and do some overlapping. And when you have these radiating lines like this in something, and then you overlap them, you get some cool effects. So that's what I'm going to try to do. We're going to see what happens. Okay, I'm going to start with my 01 in black, and this is a pretty new pen. So I am hoping that it will be cooperative. And so I think I'm going to put one of these right in the center, approximately. So I'm going to start and put something really weird in, sort of like this, okay? And I'm going to go ahead, decide how I want this to go. I'm going to start my radiating lines out from the center. I'm going to try to take my time, make sure I'm starting and stopping in the right place so I don't have a mess down here. The cleaner your lines on this kind of thing, the cooler the effect is going to be, particularly with the overlapping in different colors. Okay. You're almost certainly going to have stray lines down at the bottom unless you are really steady, and even if you are, you're likely to get some stray lines. So just expect it. Just take your time, do the best you can, and then don't worry about the rest. That was some good advice my mom gave me when I was a kid. This is going to be fun. It's a little bit messy right there, but it's going to be okay. We'll go over some of these lines later. I think I'm going to put another one, eeny meeny. I think I'll put another short one over here. Let's see. And I think I'm going to let it turn a little bit. Now I am not trying to overlap these. They're going to be the same color, so that's not what my intention is. Brand new pen is a joy to use, isn't it? Oof, if it gets any hotter, we are moving to Canada with you guys. I never thought about that. That might be fun. I wonder if they'd let us just because it would be cool for the experience. Alright. So let's put in some brown ones now. See where that gets us. I think I'm going to pull down on this one. Okay, so here we've got our first overlap. All right. So I think this is going to look cool. That is cool right there. Okay, really cool. I think I'll put another one here in the middle. Let's see, where would that be? I think it's easier for me to start with the stem. And go from there, and I'm just going to draw right on over the other ink that I have here. I'm going to take care about where I start and stop. So I'm going to draw a couple of white ones in now and see where I can get some overlap on that and see what it looks like. Then we'll make a decision on anything else we put on. Always make sure, especially with these Jelly Roll 10s, that you have cleaned off the tip really well with your fingers or a paper or whatever you want to use. And I usually wear a Jelly Roll everywhere I go. It's sort of part of my dressing. And you don't want any lumps of ink when you start off, so just a little program note for you. I think I'm going to put this one over here, so I think I'll put my center dot like this, and then I'm going to draw in my outer element. Hit any spots where your ink doesn't come out quite as much as you'd like, just go over it gently. Alright, now let's draw these in and clean this up a little bit, which is dangerous for me. Oh yeah, isn't that cool? Okay, definitely putting another one over here. I may be putting these in too symmetrically, but I don't care. They're mine. I can do it if I want to. I don't know why the dot's up here. Clearly I decided to go down here. All right, let's fill this in. And take my time. And the slower you move, the nicer spread of ink you're going to have, hopefully. I find that in particular with the Jelly Rolls, that they need you to draw slowly so they have plenty of time to send their ink where you want it. Okay, so these didn't get quite as much ink as these, but I think that's still going to be all right. The question is, do I want to put one more down here? Or do I want to leave it as is? I think I want to put one more down here because it's me and it's open space, and or do I? I'm going to think about it. Let's talk about shading really quickly. It's going to be a fast video if I don't slow down. Okay, for overlapping spots, you're going to want to, of course, shade the one on the bottom. Now inside this area, where they overlap, you're going to want to have some, at least a little bit of shading to show that that one is overlapping the other. So that does help. Although it almost looks like the black's on top of the brown. I can't tell. I honestly can't tell, and I'm not sure whether we should shade maybe here. Well, either way, it looks okay. All right. Okay, so now, when you use white jelly roll, there are a couple of things that you should know. Number one is you can shade over it. So if I wanted to put a little color in here to show these lines were coming together, I could easily do that with a very thin. I could also put color down here. I could use that violet blue that we used for shading the other day. Let's see. Here is another overlapping spot. This is my Zentangle pencil, which has a good amount of lead in it. But again, I'm not sure I want to use all that much. I just want to give a hint of it. All right. Now also in places where, let's see, sort of go with your intuition. It's hard to know until you get yours done what it's going to be. And you frequently find that out on the journey. Let's shade around this one and see how that turns out. Okay, so this is pretty, but I need something to sort of tie everything together. And I'm trying to decide. I don't think I want to use a fill pattern. I think that would overwhelm what we're doing. I think this is a lot anyway. But Lisa on her step out had some little bubble shapes, and she drew those with inside a jelly roll circle or orb. And so we're going to try some of that. And so you guys aren't the only ones that copy. I get inspiration from other artists all the time. So I'm going to put some of these in. Give us a little bit of opportunity here to shade some little bubble-like things. And I think just a few of these is going to make a big difference. Okay, maybe one more. And there. All right, so now I think I'm going to shade in here just a little bit. So dare I use my Zentangle pencil, or should I use my Very Thin? So around the tops of each of these, I'm going to lay down some color. You can use your pencil for this, whatever you want. You can even do this with a colored pencil if you want. I mean, this is a colored pencil, but you know what I mean. We put our little dark crescent to one side, and ideally, Cindy, we'll put them on the same side. I'm going to try not to shift my tile until I'm done with this. At least not turning it. We'll see how careful a job I can do on this. No promises. No promises, only opportunities, right? I always have opportunities. How blessed am I? Pretty blessed, actually. Pretty blessed. Court went great today. Hopefully, and we go back in 3 more months, and I hope that at that point we will get to be adopted. Very excited. I don't think the kid will believe it until it actually happens. He's gotten a little jaded, and I don't blame him. So I'm just adding a little bit of dark towards the center of these. Remember, you can go right over your jelly roll. That is a wonderful thing. And we are going to do another tile this week on black. And so I hope you guys can source a black tile or something similar that you can use. I'll also be using colored pencil with that. Those of you who have signed up for membership, thank you so much for your support. That means, and it's amazing to me that so many of you have been so supportive. I really appreciate it. The people in the Tireless Tangler group, we will get together and figure out what timing is best, and we will figure out a schedule for some Zoom classes or live streaming or something like that. I haven't quite decided how that's going to work. We might use Zoom. That might work out well. All right. Most people are already familiar with it. Okay, now I'm just going to take my white charcoal pencil, and I'm going to give a little hint of white on the opposite side to where I shaded. For a couple of little spots. This is where I'm at. How pretty is that? I really like it. It's very nice. So I may or may not add a little fescue here or there, or some other tiny bit of embellishment, but essentially this is where I'm going to leave it today. Thank you guys for allowing me to do a short, easier one for today. I'm really struggling with exhaustion, and I don't want to have a complete collapse. And so I'm going to try to slow it down just a little bit until we can get finished with this 100-day thing. And then I will take maybe a day off, and we'll get right back to it. So we're going to keep going, and I'm going to keep going. I appreciate you guys so much, whether you're a member or not, whether you are able to support this channel financially or not. Your support, your emotional support, your caring, your love, your kindness, your comments, your likes, all of those things make a big difference to me. And I want to thank you all for giving back something to me in exchange for what I'm giving you. And that means the world to me. Thank you guys for being part of my tireless followers. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow for day 96. Remember, source something black. We're going to have some fun, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, see you tomorrow.